Hi there, CJ.
Hey, welcome. Hey, we have James Wanless here, and we're going to do an update on the Fired Up with CJ show. And we're going to be looking at Hillary and Trump. We did this a while back, and I kind of wanted an update. How are you doing, by the way? How are you holding up after all these crazy antics in the elections?
Well, it's a good idea not to be too involved. I think if you get so involved, you go crazy yourself. And actually, I'm wearing my white hat now, which indicates I am, with doing the cards and all that, I'm impartial. I wear the white hat.
Okay.
I'm not red or blue or anything like that because I like impartiality, objectivity, fairness, and we'll see what the cards have to
Well,
say.
I'm impartial because I don't like either candidate. Does that make me impartial?
Oh, I
Real.
love them both, CJ. I really love them both.
Okay, good. All right, you be about love, I can be about hate.
Right, right.
Okay, so let's actually do the question, answer the first question, which everyone wants to hear. What does a tarot card say about who will win? And refresh our memories, because you remember you said that each of them has a different life card. So
Oh,
what are their life cards? What is
very
what is a
cool.
life card? What does it mean? And give
Right.
us a little
Well,
preview of that from the last time.
we are using Voyager cards,
Okay,
It's a 21st century tarot. It's
of
not the old medieval
course.
stuff, because this is not the old medieval world anymore, by the way.
And these are the
But
cards, of course, that were created by
yeah,
you.
it's interesting, based upon your number, by just adding up your birth date numbers, it eventually reduces to some other a number of numbers, which all have connection, correspondence to the cards in the deck.
Oh.
So when we did Hillary, her life cards, meaning her numerology and what they corresponded with in Voyager, her card, the single digit card is number 3, the Empress.
Oh, makes sense.
It's actually for a female running for president. It's not a bad card. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
that's
an
perfect.
incredible archetype. And an Empress is also a mother and ideally very nurturing and nourishing and compassionate and loving and growthful, like a great mom would be.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
Mm-hmm.
running America as a president's a little bit different, but nevertheless.
Mm-hmm.
But before we even got to the number 3 card, her other numbers it add all up to 21, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. So she's also the 21st card, 21, which is the universe.
Hmm.
Universe is a person who's been around the block. I mean, vastly experienced in the field of politics and governance. So
Mm-hmm.
you put those two together, and that's formidable. Those
Mm-hmm.
are very positive life cards
Mm-hmm.
for somebody running and being president. Then we look at Donald Trump, and his numbers add up to 4. Well, guess what 4 is? It's the emperor,
Oh my goodness,
or
perfect.
the would-be emperor. So here's, the male version of the empress. So in a sense, that's a kind of an equal deal,
Mm-hmm.
sort of.
Right.
Interesting with Trump. Before you get to the number 4, his numbers add up to 22, and then 2 plus 2 is 4. But there is a 22nd card in the tarot,
Hmm.
and it's called the Fool. So
Okay.
Trump's cards are the Emperor and the Fool.
Hmm.
So, go figure.
But the Fool card is a good card. People like the Fool card.
Yeah, except for maybe running a country of 340 million people.
Okay, no, but tell me about the positive aspects because the Fool sounds so bad. But
Well,
what are the positive aspects of the
well,
Fool?
the Fool does bring, and in Voyager, it's the Fool child, which
Mm-hmm.
does bring a lot to the table in the sense of newness, in a sense of openness. Ideally,
Mm-hmm.
it's the open mind, the beginner's mind, who's it's like a
Mm-hmm.
fresh start. But then you kind of balance that off with Trump as the emperor. Emperor is not really an open-minded person. It's
Mm.
fixed. Number 4, I have my agenda, I have my point of view, and I'm sticking to it. So you get kind of a schizoid kind of candidacy
Oh
here
my goodness. Okay.
between the 4 solid, stable, fixed, predictable, and this fool child 0, which is absolutely unpredictable and uncertain.
Right, which we're experiencing both of those things, aren't we? It's
Absolutely.
interesting.
It could not be more true.
Okay, so how do we figure out what kind of spread are you going to do, or what would you recommend for doing some tarot cards for who will win?
Well, let's just pick a card. One
Okay.
card for each of them.
Okay. All right.
I like the one card thing.
One
And
card.
yeah.
Okay.
So I want you involved in this, CJ.
Okay.
You seem to be an intuitive human being. So I'm taking all the cards and
Okay.
no cheating here. I'm just going to put them on my table face down. They're all face
Okay.
down here in front of me. 78 of them. Wow. And so, what about Trump's candidacy? Will he win? Is that the deal? Is that the
Yes.
question?
Or
Okay.
what? Or actually, let's do some more generic ones about what do we. Let's. How about if we do one like, what do we need to know about Trump before we make our decision? Okay, that way it's not.
Okay.
We'll,
Sure.
we'll like lead up to who will win. Okay, that way.
What do we need to know about the
Trump.
Donald?
Yeah, that's hidden. Or what don't we
Right.
know that we need to know
Oh,
about
what
Donald?
don't we know?
That
Oh,
we need to know.
this should be interesting. Okay. CJ, you're responsible. Tell me when to stop here.
Now.
Now, right there. You sure? Okay. I got a card. The Woman of Wands.
Ooh.
The Woman of Wands. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The Woman of Wands is would be kind of the queen of the cats. I mean, it's a cat card called the Censor, who
Hmm.
is very tuned in and very on the ball, like a cat is that has
Hmm.
that sensitivity
Right.
that's there. So when Donald says he's the voice of America or something like that, he's plugged into a great deal of anger and frustration amongst a lot of millions of American people. So
Right.
he's definitely got the pulse
Right.
there.
Right. He
Um,
gets it.
he gets that. This is not, however, a particular personality type that would be an administrator or a manager.
Mm.
Somebody who's a firebrand, who is a catalyst, who's a spark, could start
Mm-hmm.
wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure that that's what people want. Maybe, I don't know, but that's what this card is all about. And it makes sense in terms of him.
Okay, well, that card seems kind of neutral. Should we draw another one to see if what else it can enlighten us about to add more
Okay,
flavor?
because I don't think that tells us anything
Yeah,
too new
right.
about it. Except the other thing about this, he certainly does like cat fights.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah. You look at most of his Twitters, and they are bombastic. I mean, they are costly.
Exactly that.
Although
Right.
Elizabeth Warren, who's the senator from Massachusetts, is more than his equal when it comes to
I love Elizabeth Warren.
throwing another person. She
Yeah.
is this woman also.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing about Donald. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
Right there. Now, oh, right there. The Child of Crystal. Now, this would be hidden for me. Child of Crystal's the learner.
Hmm.
The learner is a very or truly open mind human being, truly,
Hmm.
who's willing to learn,
Hmm.
who therefore can change positions like he's claiming, let's say we're going to build this wall between America and Mexico. He might figure out later on by learning that's maybe not the wisest, smartest, most
Hmm.
efficient way to go.
Right.
So I like this about him.
Yeah, me too. That's
If
actually a
true,
positive thing. Yeah, good.
a very, very positive thing, and hopefully true.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be nice. And I think when we see him changing so many positions now from the nomination campaign to now being, campaign for president, he's changed a lot of positions. And that kind of goes back to the
Right,
learner.
because he's learning. He's kind of being sensitive to what's out there, and
Yep.
he's learning.
He's,
Okay.
he's growing, he's adapting.
Okay, let's draw one more card and see what it says. These are all pretty positive.
They're pretty cool. I mean, they
Happy.
are accurate. I mean,
Okay.
enough. Okay. Cards never lie, So, okay. Tell me when to stop again, CJ.
Now.
Now, whoop, I missed a card. I didn't hit a card on that one. Let's do it again.
Okay.
The third thing to hit, see. All right.
Okay, now.
Now, right there, the card. Ooh, this was down below. This is down at the bottom of the pile here.
Wow.
Reflection.
Hmm.
Now, that is another hidden quality about the Donald,
Hmm.
because that's a person who is not spontaneous.
Wow, that's interesting.
Who, rather than just blow off steam or say whatever, this is a person who will think about it and take time and be patient and consider it and reflect upon it and contemplate. This is a very Obama-like card, by the way.
Wow, I'm shocked. So
Well,
what?
that's
That's
well,
what's so fast. Well,
that,
that's why it's hidden. Well, what's so interesting is people are like, I think that he's basically got a mental illness, like he's a narcissist and he can't listen to anyone. And these
right.
cards are very, very different than what
Well,
he portrays publicly.
we're really hopeful. What's interesting about Obama is a number two. This is a number two card reflection. This is one of his life cards,
Mm,
and he is very reflective. I
mm,
mean, they go around and around about arguments. Should we do this or that or whatever? He is not. He does not shoot from the hip at all. So
mm.
that's interesting.
Wow, that's so. These are very hidden qualities because I do not see this with
Well,
Donald Trump at all.
this is certainly not hidden about him.
Yeah, yeah, but the other two I
I
think are
don't
actually
like
pretty
this, like
hidden.
that. Rah, 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 sharp nails
Right,
in the
right.
moment, likes cat fights and all that. Gunslinger kind of card.
Right, right. Okay, let's find out about Hillary. I'm. What do you think about those cards? Those are really surprising to me and favorable. I'm
Well, I'm
makes
going
me
to
a little
put them,
scared.
CJ. I'm going to put them back in because we want to be playing with a full deck, don't we?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Let's play with a full deck.
How many people are we playing with a full deck? U.S. Tarot uh, findings have declared that our candidates are. So we're going to pick a what's the question about Hillary?
Well, yeah. What is the hidden? What is hidden that we cannot see that we need
Okay.
to know about Hillary?
Okay, cool. Tell me when to stop, CJ.
Okay, now.
Ah, CJ, you got some good instincts here. Oh, wow, this is so interesting. It's the male version of
Hmm.
that Trump's first card, the Woman of Wands. This is the Man of Wands, the actor.
Wow.
So very similar in that it's kind of the lightning bolt. She has a real flashpoint about her, even though we think she thinks about things and reflects. She probably does, but this is not that. This is
Mm.
pretty much like again the gunslinger,
Wow.
who's a shapeshifter. Can be this, but really behind the curtain or behind closed doors might be that.
Right. Okay, we've seen that with her too, right? There's
That's
just
what
a lot
I
of
think. That's what people don't appreciate about Hillary is that we don't know who she really is.
right, right.
And this is the actor card, so that is very accurate.
Mm.
Yeah, really
Okay.
interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, let's pull another one
Okay. What about Hillary? Tell me when to stop.
now.
Right there. Okay. Okay, Hillary. Wow, this is so cool. The same card, the learner,
Wow.
as Trump got here, which means basically the same profile as Trump's.
Yeah,
She
but the
also
male version. Wow, this is so
exactly, but
fascinating.
she, like Trump, the learner, is very willing and open to learning and reflecting and changing and adapting.
Right.
The learner card, which we
Okay.
love,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah,
love.
we want the learner card, please.
This is if there's one quality a person needs to have in life, and certainly to be president, it's
Right.
this.
Right. Okay, let's do one more card for Hillary.
Well,
Wow, these are
that's fine.
fascinating.
Wow, it is fascinating. Okay, tell me when to stop.
Now.
Wow, right there. Well, you don't mess around. A lot of people think about it. It's not a thinking. I keep telling people, thinking and isn't going to work here. Wow, anger. Anger.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting. This is a number four card, which is one of Trump's numbers. Trump is a
Mm,
number four.
mm,
This is an emperor card who's not happy and goes crazy and blows up here.
mm,
So
mm,
again, she has a trigger point, a flash point, like the Man of Wands.
mm-hmm.
Right? Well, now the anger card. Um, anger can go both ways. However, on the one hand, she can be very temperamental and reactive.
Mm.
Okay, which you know, okay, we're looking for hidden parts.
Right.
So she obviously has that behind hidden doors. She might act out, be very gracious, whatever, get her off the camera, and
Right.
she be like that. The other thing about this card, though, is anger is also righteous anger. Righteous anger.
Oh no, righteous anger is the worst.
Well, it can be the
It's
worst.
going to be fanatical, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Ideological. I
Right.
mean, my God is better than your God. Kind
Right.
of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there
Interesting.
are some causes that are righteous.
Right.
There are some causes that are righteous. We'd all agree with that.
Mm.
But so there's a card that indicates that, you know, maybe she'll go after something. I mean, who knows, some cause or some issue that we don't think too much about. She might be really into that and really push that as part of her agenda and her vision.
Mm. Hmm.
Not sure
Interesting.
what that, I'm not sure what that is,
Right.
but these are interesting.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do some cards
Well,
about.
to say one thing though, CJ, what's
Yeah.
impressed me about Hillary's cards is these are not particularly cards of a particularly established candidate
Hmm.
who has all their positions staked out, know who they represent, what they represent, and all that. This indicates there's a lot more fluidity here,
Right.
which, for better or for worse,
Right.
yes, that's
Right.
all.
And it kind of expresses what kind of nurturing mother she will be.
Right,
Or what kind of emperor Trump will be. Okay, so
right.
you had a really good question about the nominations, and what does this mean about the nominations? Because I think that both with the Democratic nomination and also the Republican, it's very troubling. So, what kind of cards could we play or pull for that
What you're talking about the nomination process or the nomination candidates themselves?
nomination candidates? But that was your
Okay.
question we were talking earlier on. Is it what were you asking? Nomination candidates or the process?
I think the process
Okay.
of
All right. So let's ask about the process.
yeah, my card for today, by the way, I pick a card a day to see who am I today,
Yeah.
um, and I got the sun, and the sun
Oh.
is very clarifying. The sun, is like, hey, let's bring things out into the open light so that we can see,
Mhm.
and then from that information we can act more wisely.
Mhm.
So when I thought of that, I thought about this nomination process because basically here's a candidate like Donald Trump who is a campaign by Twitter. Essentially, it's a
Mhm.
campaign run by some guy who's been popular on a reality show.
Right.
You know,
It's an extension of his reality show,
it's a
basically.
media-driven candidate we have. We want somebody who can run the country.
Right.
We don't want somebody who can Twitter good. I
Right.
mean, that doesn't make it's not about that. So
Right.
that to me is a problem. And then Hillary, on the other hand, there's nothing there about her except she is the candidate.
Right.
She's the established candidate, and that's that.
Right.
So it's kind of almost fixed
Right.
in a way, But neither, I just don't. It's just not very clarifying or edifying who these people. And then they get on these debate things on TV with 16 different Republican candidates. What is that about? Who knows anything about anything? Who's got the best hair, by the way?
Right.
Always what comes down to that kind of stuff. So
Right.
somehow I think there needs to be another way.
Okay. So
And we could,
what card could we draw to get a sense of the
I just want
process?
to. We could just pick one card on this,
Okay.
just as a clue, maybe of what might be another way. So tell me when to stop.
Okay. Now.
Now, okay. And the card we get is the Woman of Cups, the Rejoicer, the
Hmm.
Queen of Hearts,
Mhm.
and a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful card. But this is open. This is an openness that's here.
Mhm.
This is not. There's no duplicity here.
Mhm.
But it's some. But what am I trying to say? I don't know. I mean, on the one hand, the Hillary nomination was not so open. It's
Right.
a done deal with the
Right.
Democratic National Party.
Right.
The Trump thing, yeah, it was an open war,
Right.
basically, if you will, or popularity contest or hair contest.
Right.
Um, so I'm not exactly sure what this would mean, and I don't want to get stuck on this conversation, but because I would pick more than one card to
Okay.
really.
Pick another card. Pick another
Okay,
card.
I'm going to pick this card right down
Yes.
here, and it is success,
Hmm.
Ace of Worlds. It's just about candidates who are experienced and successful in their experience. Now, I think the American political system is the worst in the world, except for all the others in the
Mhm.
world. So the good thing, for example, because I work in China a lot, is the Chinese system. It's not a free election. We know that, but the candidates to run China for 10 years, to be the chairman of the party and all that of China, those candidates are really vetted. They've been governors of provinces, and
Right. They actually have skills and
they
knowledge and
have
experience.
real evident skills
Right. Right.
that are here of running and governing. And that's what this card is. And I don't think, Trump's run Trump Towers or some casinos or something like that. And I don't know how successful he's been with that since he owes almost $1 billion in his own debt.
Mm-hmm.
But, and Hillary, yeah, she's been Secretary of State, she's been Senator and all that. At least there's some kind of evidence.
Yeah, I think that actually is worthy evidence. All right, so what do we need to know when they're elected? How about if what do we need to know? Because that really is the question. If elected, do both of them have the requisite skills, knowledge, and temperament to? So maybe we can draw one for skills and temperament to see, because that's the thing that people are worried, right? Does Donald have the skills? Does he have the temperament?
Right.
And we already found a little bit about Hillary, but let's just to be fair,
Right.
we'll run some of the cards for that.
Right. Okay. Great question, and you're right on it, CJ, because the power of this process is in the question.
Right. Right.
And these are really good questions.
So what do we need to know about Donald's skills if he's president? Okay.
Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
Right there. Well, I barely got a card. I don't know what that means. Love.
What?
Love.
Wow.
Well, it is a pretty amazing card, really. This is a person who is very, which is interesting. Again, it's almost a hidden aspect about Trump. He's very much influenced by others and people around him. It doesn't appear to be that way, but when you're actually governing, this would indicate that he's quite much more open to receiving information from trusted people that's there. That's kind of pretty cool card.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, it is kind of
I think this is like revealing a lot about Donald that I had no idea. I'm kind of shocked. Okay, how about if we do one for Hillary about her skills?
Yeah, okay.
What skills will become, or what skills do we need to know about if she's elected?
Okay, tell me when to stop.
Now.
But the other thing, I just had another thought about, here's that card. With the love card, back to Trump, is that these are Siamese fighting fish in Voyager. Mm-hmm. And yet they can love and they can fight. I think that's one thing about Trump. He loves fights, but he loves to love fights. And actually love his enemy, I suppose, more than we might think. Because he loves the competition. Right, yeah. And he loves the noble adversary, the person who pushes his hair out of place, you know what I mean? So in a way, he can appreciate, value, and recognize that in another person. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, that is really amazing. That is pretty amazing. Okay, so.
Wait, did you put that card back before we actually do Hillary? Because I don't like.
We picked Hillary's card already.
Okay, what's Hillary's card?
Hillary's card is, the art card.
Wow.
The alchemist. This is what's amazing about this, CJ, is actually up here in the upper corner of the card. I don't know if you can see that. It's a profile of Athena. Athena is the goddess, the warrior goddess that protected over and watched over all of Athens and all of Greece. She was the guardian of the Athenian culture. And therefore, she was in the Parthenon overlooking all of Athens and all of that. Right. So no man messed with her. Right. Talk about the empress. Athena. Wow, she is and the alchemy card in this is the mixing of fire and air and water and earth to create. This is a high creativity archetype. Right. It's able to mix and match and synergize to bring different varieties and diversities into a synergistic, co-creative collaborative.
And I think that what's feeling positive about either of these cards and either of these candidates is I feel like things are just broken right now. How Congress and the Senate do anything is broken. And so it seems like a candidate who can love or be like Athena is actually super critical.
Well, but she's the alchemist. Remember, the key thing about the art card is alchemy, to bring people and things together.
Right, and that's actually, I think that's positive because I'm kind of
Totally
so
positive.
sick of what's happening right now. It feels like we're at a standstill. So either of them seem actually pretty good in terms of skills. I'm
I,
kind of shocked. All
in
right,
terms, yeah, in terms of ruling, because as you suggest and say, I think honestly, the system itself is broken.
yeah,
So how can a person really lead and govern when you have this insane Congress kind
I
of?
know. I'm serious. So, okay, so should we do one on which one of them is actually going to be able to handle the Congress a little bit better? I mean, we have those two cards, or do you think that that was an answer to that? Don't know.
Well, they're both good ones. They're both good at getting along with others.
Right,
They're
right,
both good
right.
at
Despite
that.
Trump's public persona,
Right.
he's actually pretty
Right.
good. Okay, so let's
Well, but
actually.
I must say though, Hillary's card actually it takes a step further than, because it's very creative. It's, in other words, we could take all these different factions and somehow weave them. This is the weaver.
Mm-hmm,
Weave them together into something, a cooperative effort to go positive, go forward
mm-hmm.
here. So that is a more powerful archetype for
Yeah.
rule.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's ask which one is going to be more successful at just working with Congress. How about
Oh,
that?
that's very specific. I like that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me remix the cards here. Mix them all up. Okay, CJ, you tell me when to stop.
Now,
Now, who's this one for?
okay, let's start over.
Yeah, let's do it again. Okay, we're starting again.
Who's going to
Which
be
one?
more capable working with Congress? All right, let's actually start with Donald.
Okay,
Okay, now.
right there. All right. Death.
That what does that mean?
I don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out. Let's go on. Let's find. Well,
Should we do Hillary's card next?
yeah. Let's do Hillary's card.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now.
Now, oh gosh. All right. Hillary's card is compassion.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Well, I mean, again, back to literally the cards and the question
Mm-hmm.
here. Compassion, of course, is a very great get along.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where you're coming from. I empathize with your point of view, and I'll work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's an number 3 card. This is her life card number 3,
Mm-hmm.
the Empress Compassion. That's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Donald's death. Man, that is a rough one. That is a rough one. I mean, if he continues to be so caustic and spontaneous and not open and da da da, then I think it's not good. It's not favorable at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's truly, like we looked at in the cards, open and learning and loving and all of that, then death is change. It could be liberation. It could be change of a system, if
Mm-hmm.
you a
Yeah.
real deep transformation. The compassion card's more of a little bit of a band-aid healing.
Right. It's like, oh, everyone, let's just get along, you know.
Right. Whereas death is more of a deep structural systemic transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow. These are very unexpected cards. Okay,
yeah.
let's do the temperament. Let's do. What do we need to know about Donald's temperament?
Ooh, his temper.
Or is that a good one? Or
That's fine.
how will his temperament affect his ability to lead? Is that a
Right.
better one?
Yeah. What's interesting in light of the fact that, the guy who wrote his autobiography, which is a very glowing autobiography about him, said that was all fixed by the author and that he actually calls Trump a sociopath.
Right.
Okay. But we're moving
Yeah.
on.
What do we need to know about his temperament
Right.
if he were to be elected?
Right. Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Now.
Right there. It's so funny. We haven't really picked any negative cards here. In this whole.
No. I'm shocked.
Well, now we have a card. It's called confusion/conflict.
Oh, okay.
This is where going different ways, the lightning bolt breaking things up, and now we have war. I mean, this is a major divisive card in the deck.
Yeah.
Honestly, of all the 78 cards in Voyager, this one is by far the most conflictive, most
Hmm.
divisive, the most warlike, the most disagreeable kind of
Right.
person.
Well, I guess if you're trying to, if death is the ultimate outcome, or, then someone has to kind of be a little bit,
These are drastic.
yeah.
I mean, these are not easy little get along cards to go along
Right.
at all. Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
Okay.
But
We'll
the
be
thing
in
about
for
it
a
is
ride if we.
the system does need some transformation, and maybe it takes this. It's got to get worse before it gets better, possibly.
Right.
That would indicate that. Whereas the Hillary way would, well, we'll just see how we can work it out and
Okay.
go
So
along.
what do we need to know about Hillary's temperament if she's
Okay.
elected?
Okay. We've seen her anger, though.
Yeah.
We've seen that, and her compassion. They're both rather enigmatic
Yeah, they
characters.
are. They are. They're very kind of
Well, I
Jekyll
think
and Hyde-ish to me, both of them.
when you're in the spotlight like that, in the glare, you can't be totally forthcoming. You have to have a private side that's
Right.
greatly private, and
Yeah.
then this public persona side.
Right.
So who's who here? Okay, so what about Hillary?
Okay, now.
Right there. The Hillary card, the seeker.
Hmm.
The seeker. Again, that's more of let's find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let's find a way. Let's go down this path to seek a way of collaborating and getting
Mm-hmm.
along
Mm.
to make something happen out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty different from this conflict confusion card of
Right. But she's kind of like more like, let's stay, where things aren't really broken. Let's just continue to continue.
yeah. Well, she's kind of an establishment candidate that way.
Right.
True.
Right.
That's why people don't like her
Right.
because it represents the old order, and people don't like the old order. Enough of
Right.
this crap. So
Right.
Trump, he kind of brings the promise or the thought of changing the old order, but is that really doable? And is he the guy to do it?
Mm.
You
Okay,
know.
so here's my other question. There's clearly a lot of unhappiness, of which both Trump and Hillary are trying to capture the people who are unhappy. And
Right.
so, let's actually look at will which can we? I don't know what the question is. Which candidate would actually help address some of the issues that the Bernie folks or some of the Trump people are looking. I mean, is it a sham, or are either candidate really going to help solve some of the problems that people are bringing up?
Well, I mean, I think we sort of have some indications here by these cards. I mean, but sure, we can keep going. Let's
Okay,
pick a card up.
what card would you? So what's the question? Help me frame the question.
Well, I want to know how effective will these people be, really?
Hmm.
I mean, really, what's going to happen? Let's
Okay.
ask that.
Okay. How effective will they be?
Right. Okay. So, which one first?
Let's do Trump first. Let's do
Okay.
Hillary first because I feel like we're
Okay.
doing. Let's
Okay.
do Hillary first. Okay. Now.
Right there. Okay. Effective the harvest.
Hmm.
Harvest is an awesome, real abundance, harvesting, productive, fruitful card.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
real. We love that. Okay,
Okay.
I'm taking that completely. All right, now what about Trump? Right? How
Now.
effective?
Now.
Oh, now right there. Okay. Now is Einstein himself, the knower card, um, which is it's a card of a new vision or a new way of thinking.
Hmm.
It's not exactly, but it's mental. It's up in the air and up in the ethers. It's almost like we're not sure that anything really gets done. It's theoretical in a way. It's an
Mm-hmm.
idea. It's a possibility,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. It's airy. Whereas, interesting, the Hillary card is much more real. It's the Nine of Worlds. Worlds is the suit in the tarot of and Voyager of bottom line.
Right. Right.
Earth swirly crystals, which is Donald's card, is mental. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a diamond being offered out of that, which we like a lot. So there are some results,
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
without results. But honestly, literally, if you were to compare these two cards, there's really no comparison.
Right.
The
Right.
Harvest card
Yeah,
is
that's way better.
way back,
Okay. All
way back.
right. So, okay. So let's actually go. Let's do. And I want to ask the question: how effective are they going to be to address the unrest that's happening? Because that's. I really think that that's
That's exactly all these half the population at least. That's why
right.
Bernie was so popular,
Right.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
which let's actually ask, what do we need to know about Trump's ability his I really feel like he's just saying what people want to hear, but when he really gets there, he's not going to really do anything to address people's real concerns. But I don't know. So let's ask, what do we need to know? How effective will Trump be in addressing the
Those right.
yeah,
The concerns of the people,
right.
which is a lot about inequality
Yeah,
and
it's yeah.
really, because Trump's a billionaire from Manhattan. I'm not
Right.
sure
Yeah, to
what.
address inequality and
I'm
unhappiness in
not
the
quite
employment
sure.
and job situation, right? That's what people are unhappy about. Okay, how effective will he be in terms of jobs
Okay,
affecting, yeah,
okay, right,
people's
right. That's
livelihood?
real nitty gritty.
Okay.
Okay, tell me when to stop with Trump.
Okay, now.
Okay, yeah, delusion.
Okay. What's that mean?
Yeah, right.
I think we know what that means. No, but let me hear your interpretation.
Yeah, I think we know what that means. I mean, I just don't see this guy being the voice of those people.
I don't either.
I,
I
I
really
don't,
don't.
I don't even think I'm close to that. I think he would look at you and me in disdain, frankly.
Right.
He has, I don't think he has much respect for people,
Right.
frankly, unless they're like him,
Right.
people of power.
Okay,
Okay,
let's look at Hillary and see.
right, right. Okay, so Hillary addressing the unaddressed financial
Yeah, like
economic.
the Bernie population, right? Which are just,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that's a huge population. Okay,
Right.
tell me when to stop.
Now.
Right there. And remember when we did Bernie's cards way back in the primary time, his life card, I believe, might have been the star,
Yeah, I think it was,
which is
right.
Kuan Yin, who is a giving of mercy,
Hmm.
of an enlightenment, who really wants to help the people.
Right. He truly
You know,
does. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So the card is aspiration, the Four of Wands,
Hmm.
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
That is not delusion.
I
You know,
love it.
back also to Hillary's Four of Cups anger. This is the Four of Wands aspiration and vision. That maybe maybe she's got more. Maybe you never know. To get elected, you do things and say certain things, but once you're elected, they can throw all that crap away, all
Right.
that acting away, all that
Right.
front, all that mask away. And maybe, according to this card, she might be more of a egalitarian, more of than we think she is.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do the final card. Who will win?
Oh boy.
What's the question? Should we just ask who will win, or should we ask like will John? Okay.
Sure. Okay. Tell me, you're taking responsibility for this, CJ. CJ
Jeez.
predicts
Now.
for who?
Okay, we'll do it all over again for Donald. Hold on.
Okay.
So we'll do no
Uh,
Hillary. Hillary. Let's do Hillary
Okay.
first.
Okay. Let's do it again. Tell me when to stop.
Okay. Now.
Now, that card. Got it. The feeler card, Child of Cups. Don't know yet. Let's just put it away.
Okay.
It's a very emotional child card. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Whatever that means. Now let's go. Let's
Okay.
go to Trump.
Okay. Okay. Now.
Okay. Logic. That's his number. Four of crystals. Logic
Hmm.
is there. Um, wow. These are, now you have to kind of intuitively extrapolate a lot from these cards
Should
here.
we pull some other cards to
But
tell?
hold on. Let's just keep,
Okay.
I'm not in denial of cards. They have cards come for a reason. They all have insight.
Okay.
The one thing about the Cups card, Child of Cups, is this is probably in the Voyager, this is the card with the most people in it.
Hmm.
So in a sense, this is the popular vote.
Mm-hmm.
This is popular. I mean, these are people. The logic card is not a people card. It's very mental. And it may be the people's logic when they get in the voting booth is like, God, is this logical to have this guy as president?
Mm-hmm.
And yet, so they might pull the lever or whatever for Hillary, but they're not necessarily, oh God, Hillary's the best and I love her vision. I don't see that in this card either.
Right. Right.
But it's pick your poison, I suppose.
Right. Do you think we should do another card, or are you saying it's Hillary?
I think it's Hillary.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Woo!
if you're gonna, I mean, who elects presidents? It's people.
Right.
A people card. This is not. This is so abstract and so removed from the people. It doesn't
All
have
right.
inspiration or emotional affect at all.
Right. All right. There you have it. The cards have predicted.
It's a done deal.
It's a Hillary win.
CJ Lou predicts it.
Oh no, I'm predicting. Okay, I'll predict Hillary wins.
Right. I'm just the conduit. I'm the finger.
I'm the picker. I'm the pick it now.
Well, you know, in the ancient world, CJ, in the Oracle of Delphi, which was where anybody who was anybody would go to Delphi in Greece to get their fortunes told or their futures or whatever. And it was they were always done by priestesses. But the priestesses always wore blue, like you, with a little, blue and black with a little blue neck thing and all that. It was a woman. And they would determine the cards or the future. But then it had to be interpreted by men. Da-da!
Da-da! With a white hat.
Right, exactly. So here we go. It's kind of a male, female. It takes more than one to see this.
Exactly. Love it.
That's
All right. So what do you have going on? We have James Wanless. We go to your website. What's your website URL?
James with a hyphen, jameswanless.com. Wanless is Wanless.
Okay.
James
what do you have going on that we need to know about?
Oh, man, I'm going to Florida really soon to be working in Santa Barbara. I'm finishing up my Voyager psychology book.
Ooh.
I am so stoked for this. And I go to China and Asia. I'm back there in a month and a half, So I've got a good pulse of the China scene.
Very cool.
So anybody wants to know what's going on in Asia, I'm your guy.
All right. Okay. So we've been talking to James Wanless at James-WANLESS.com. And he's going to be going to all these wonderful places doing tarot. What are you doing? Doing book lectures?
I do a lot of classes. And consultations, absolutely. But I've got a summer special, CJ.
Oh, what's your summer special?
Till summer's over, September 21st. This is insane, a $50 special for an hour consultation with me.
What? Okay, I'm doing one.
It's a Skype. This is Skype or FaceTime because it's not in person, and I don't do phone.
Okay.
So, but I think a lot of people don't know Skype or FaceTime. But
Skype is like universal now. Okay.
Go on to jameswanless.com, sign up, and we'll figure out when to do it.
Yay! All right. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait. This is like the most interesting reading ever, don't you think?
I love it. It's real psychology, too.
I
love it. Wow.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. I would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.